Alright, MegaWhale team, we've got another video today. We're just going to be taking a look at Bitcoin. We're just going to take a look at the long-term projection of Bitcoin, and we do have a few new pieces of information we do want to cover today. We're going to be taking a look at 4 separate charts, so we do have a lot of information packed in today's video, and I'm going to try to get through it nice and quickly, but also try to explain it to you guys so you can understand it. So we'll start on the chart we've been looking at for the last few days, which is our rising wedge chart. Now we do have our trend line here that we broke down and that sent us downwards, and we are currently finding a little bit of support on that 200-day moving average on the daily. Our current projection is still this trend line here, which is around 43,000, and we do expect a bounce or reversal pretty soon, either a dead cat bounce and then a trend downwards into a bear market, or a full reversal at this point upwards. This is information we'll only be able to, this information we'll only be able to understand after the fact. It's hard to predict it beforehand, so we're going to have to wait to see what happens when we do reach this range and continue upwards. As mentioned before, if we do manage to break around $54,000 before hitting this range, that will be our indication of a reversal. We need to get it back over this trend. So if we can get back over this trend over here, this will indicate a reversal upwards. Alternatively, reversal, or we head back down. So those are the 3 options. We're going to be taking a look at them today. Let's jump into the next chart. This is the chart that's concerning a lot of people right now, and rightfully so it should be. We are coming back, retesting the 50 SMA on the weekly chart. Now we've seen a retest on this range here, and now we're finally seeing a retest here. We have 4 days and 11 hours until this candle closes. If we look back in history, we can notice every time we lose a 50 SMA on the weekly, we end up crashing. All right, we crashed pretty damn hard here, and we crashed pretty damn hard here. All right, this sent us into a full-blown bear market, and they've sent us down a considerable amount. Obviously, this is COVID-19, so we can't be taking too much from that, but mainly looking at the 2018 drop was when we failed to find support again on that 50 SMA, and we continued into the bear market. All right. If we go back in history, we can see a similar thing again into 2014. All right, bear market, we failed to hold that SMA, that 50 SMA, and we continue down to a bear market. All right, we did find support on the 200-day moving average. So we come back to this chart here. Where would we find support? We've been saying it again, if we do enter a bear market, we will find support along that 200-day moving average, which we expect would be around $25,000 to $30,000. All right, this would be worst case scenario. So what we're looking at currently, what we're really hoping to see, is that we do not close this weekly candle below the 50 SMA. All right, now the 50 SMA at the moment is about 47,700. We need to make sure we close above. We can wick down and bounce back up. We need to close above. The good thing is we do have support from the Ichimoku cloud. And we can see along here, we've held support along the Ichimoku cloud the entire way, which is really nice to see. And obviously we do have support from the 200-day moving average on the daily. And again, this zone here, we do have support on that long-term trend. So it's very possible that we come down into this range here in the next 4 days and bounce back up. All right, we'll have to wait and see. So let's take a look at our last chart. This is going to be, again, our rising wedge formation. We are underneath the bull market support band. Now, every time historically Bitcoin is underneath the bull market support band, altcoins bleed a lot. All right, when do altcoins start moving? Well, we start moving on that second pump. All right, that retest, Bitcoin moves a lot, takes a lot of dominance of the market. This drop is where altcoin starts to move and altcoins pop off on that last stretch. All right, so at the moment we are underneath the bull market support band. If we do drop and lose this line here, this trend line, altcoins will bleed heavily. All right, they are already bleeding a lot, but they will bleed a lot more. All right, so we have to keep an eye on that. All right, we need to flip, and we need to get back above the bull market support band very quickly. So let's take a look at our Gaussian channel. Now the Gaussian channel isn't one that a lot of people use. I personally use the Gaussian channel to predict the market crash on the daily chart way back in April. But we're going to take a look at it again. So as you can see, the Gaussian channel is actually giving us a little bit of support here. We found support again here, here, and we're getting support again on the Gaussian channel. This upper line of the Gaussian channel is in fact the 50 SMA. So the 50 SMA is what we were talking about before. This same line here. This is the top line of the Gaussian channel, all right? We can see every time we drop and fail to hold that 50 SMA, and on the Gaussian channel, the 50 SMA of the top line, where do we go? We actually push to the bottom side of that Gaussian channel, all right? This is where we bottom out, all right? This is the bottom. This is where you want to accumulate, all right? Same thing happened here. We dropped that 50 SMA, we move down to the bottom of the Gaussian channel, all right? We're expecting exactly the same thing. If we lose that 50-week moving average and we break this trend line, where are we going to be heading? It's very, very simple. History repeats itself. We'll be heading underneath that Gaussian channel, all right? We'll be heading into this range over here, all right? $25,000 to $35,000. That is where we're going to head. That is going to be where we bottom out before we move back upwards. All right, history will repeat itself, and the same thing will happen over and over again. The ratios will be different, the percentage gains will be different, but these technical indicators can, if you use them correctly, they can show you what's going to happen, and you can, if you use them to your advantage, you can get a pretty good understanding and position yourself well in the market to capitalize on any move, All right, guys, so I said it was going to be a quick video today. That's all we went through. We're not going to go through too much more. We've already covered what our bullish predictions were. If you want to go look at those, looking at our videos, the key takeaways today are that 50 SMA we need to hold. If we close on the weekly below the 50 SMA, we've just entered a Gaussian channel. If we enter that Gaussian channel, we will be heading down into a bear market. All right, it's very, very unlikely we will continue upwards after entering the Gaussian channel. You do not see it often. We've seen it a handful of times. All right, but honestly, 99% of the time we will continue downwards. The only time I saw in the weekly chart that didn't come to fruition was over here, where we entered, we found support on the midline, pushed back up, but ultimately we did actually come back below. All right, so guys, that 50 SMA, that 50 SMA, we're looking to hold that 47,700 weekly. If we fail to hold it, that last line of support is still 43,000 on that trend line. If we fail to hold both of those, we're in for a bear market. It's as simple as that. Again, I'm not going to try to tell you what you want to hear. I'm not trying to tell you what you want to hear. I'm telling you what the facts are, the charts, what the charts are telling us, and that's what the charts are saying. All right. All right, guys, if you liked the video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.